Thank you very much. So good morning, everyone. I hope everyone's feeling okay. Maybe a few sore heads in here. We are going to be talking about decisioning. So we're making decisions all the time. You might have made a decision about that last drink last night. Maybe you're regretting that one.
I did.
Jack's there. People in the front row, they're laughing at you because they were on the water last night, and I'm afraid, just to let you down, you're not all going to be top 5 golfers in the world, but there you go. And the joke's really on you guys, because they're out on the driving range talking to Tiger Woods at the moment. Anyway, the other decision you've made, thank you very much, is not to go and see Stefanos next door on No Time for Timeouts, but we'll let you decide if that's the right decision. Anyway, I'm Rob Davis, Senior Product Director.
Jack Webster, Solutions Engineer.
And as I say, we're going to talk about decisions. We're going to talk about them in the CRM context. So the key thing is we want to make decisions that have impact, but it is clearly not one decision that is going to make a difference. It's created by many connected decisions altogether. And we're going to talk about how we get that connective tissue, that context, if you like, through all the decisions that you might have to make. Now, I'm sure you guys recognize this. I think this is a picture from one of your marketing meetings. Slightly awkward stance. Everyone's standing up, intently staring at each other. Vaguely diverse clip art style CRM team. There you go. They're discussing all the decisions that go into making a campaign. So, content variations. When should it be sent? What channel should they get it on? Which offer or promo should they receive? Which campaign or journey should each customer get? And which customers should be included in the campaigns? And there's one person in that who isn't saying anything, probably regretting their life decisions as to why they're standing up looking awkwardly at the rest of their team. So we are going to hand over to Jack. Well rehearsed.
And the real problem with all of that at the end of the day is that most organizations make those decisions separately. Audience selection is done in one place by a BI and data team. Journey logic is prioritized, usually in Excel, using a lot of guesswork and a lot of hours spent analyzing who should get what. Campaign optimization happens retroactively at some point in the future. And ultimately, content testing is managed independently by creative. So when these decisions are disconnected, ultimately the experience breaks and you leak value from your CRM activity.
Okay, so it's all about connectivity. When we talk about AI decisioning, it's how we connect those CRM decisions, determining the best next action for every single customer. So it's a sequence of decisions, it's that shared context. It's not a black box, it's something the marketers can drive, it's a system they build. So let's break down what those connected decisions look like. And if we look at personalization, remember this from Shai's session yesterday, we're going to look at this through the lens of 4 different decisions that obviously bleed into each other as we go through.
So the first one is the decision around audience. What customers should be included in what campaign? So here, AI is helping marketers with finding the best audience for every marketing objective that you have, using predictive models to enhance the actual segmentation and personalization of the segment itself, segment discovery or target group discovery, so finding the next best segment to communicate with, and ultimately behavioral insights when campaigns are already running and customers are either responding to or not responding to different campaigns. So ultimately, this isn't about sending more messages, it's about sending messages to the right customers.
Okay, so this is where you've got lots of campaigns, multiple things coming together, multiple eligibility. So one customer can be in multiple campaigns at the same time. Now, you might, and you probably do, try and set this up so you have mutually exclusive audiences, you try and make sure that this doesn't happen. But what we're saying is you typically run into automation hell, complexity, etc., having to rework every campaign that you do. This next bit is which campaign or journey should each customer receive? And what we want to try and do is avoid those broken journeys, make sure that you're not spamming people, make sure that they're getting the right thing at the right time.
So the third decision is the one that we're making about the campaign itself. So the decisions on which offer should we provide to them? Which channel should we communicate to the customers on? What time should we actually be sending the campaign itself? And here is where the optimization itself is actually crucial. We're trying to send the right offer to the right customer and simultaneously balancing engagement with budgets and costs. So again, AI here is helping with incremental uplift on campaigns that we're sending to each individual customer, not just clicks. And AI is actually deciding the send time for each individual customer, because ultimately we know that everyone has different preferences.
And finally, the fourth and final decision is exactly which content to do. Now, I talked a lot yesterday about moving away from a one template, one size fits all kind of strategy. Content variation is now possible, particularly with Gen AI, etc. Abundant different variations are possible to get to the right person. So it's all about having that personalized experience at the last mile, making sure that it's impactful and it's the right message for them. So what does that look like underneath? Well, different types of AI. It's not one size fits all here. More on the left-hand side, it's kind of the predictive analytics and models. More agentic through the middle section, and then we've got a lot more sort of generative AI in the tail of it with the content decisioning. But very important within that is that guiding these technologies is a rich set of guardrails. So allowing the marketer to be in control through explicitly set user controls and guidelines for the AI to operate within.
So one concern that we hear all the time is, does AI mean that we give up control? The answer very clearly is no, because we have guardrails. So all of this operates within marketer-defined controls. How often would you like for a customer to receive a campaign? What is your budget for a campaign and a promotion? Should a customer be eligible to actually receive a campaign? What kind of brand guidelines does this campaign need to adhere to? And ultimately, what KPIs are we trying to optimize for when we do marketing? So this is not automation without control. It's one connected decisioning system that is ultimately guided by marketing strategy. So marketers are still the drivers. Journeys are still defined by people, and they build on their business logic explicitly. Campaign prioritization is not surrendered. If you'd still like for your customers to receive a birthday campaign above any other campaign, you still have the ability to do that. And marketers can still choose who should get what. Constraints. So as I mentioned, the budgets and the frequency caps of the campaigns themselves. And here, AI operates within your real business constraints. So the offer eligibility, which channel should be the best, where customers have opted into specific channels or not equally, and you can have the AI decide which channel would be the optimized one to send them. And these are rules. They can't be overridden. And what is AI actually doing with everything said and done? It's continuously learning in the background whilst everyone is sleeping and telling you what to do the next morning when you wake up. It's optimizing based on real outcomes, provides transparent performance, and ultimately delivers explainable results, not decisions that are made in a black box.
I guess that's the key point. You are always in control. You will always be in control. AI isn't going to replace marketers. It's going to remove the manual guesswork. It's going to keep the strategy, accountability, and control firmly in your hands. Your job just pivots slightly to being the manager of these decisions that happen beneath them. Okay, so as our demo whiz sachets over to the lectern here, we're going to show you this in the tool. Sauntered, sorry, not a sachet. I mistook the movement. We are going to use a simple. Just hang on the slide one second. We're just going to use a simple use case of within ecom, so browsing customers who didn't purchase. I'm going to walk you through some of the things that you're going to see. So remember those 4 tiers, and we're going to add something new in at the bottom. So target group creation, we're going to show you how we can work out who should be included, what predictive AI you can use in that space. Campaign prioritization, what it means, the journey decisioning agent, which path they will see, which journey they will take. Self-optimizing campaigns and send time optimization, so our offer decisioning agent, which action and timing works best. And then finally, the content variation. So content decisioning, what exactly will they see? Now, we're very excited to also show you the AI Decisioning Studio. This is where it all comes together. You can see all these things in one place. and we'll take you through that and show you what value that's going to add. So now over to the demo.
Thank you very much. So the first decision, audience decisioning. So we're currently in what is ultimately the Customer Explorer, albeit I'm accessing it from the target groups area of the product. I'm going to zoom in a little bit just so everyone can see what I'm doing here. So we've got the first selection criteria that I've added to this segment is our active customers. So those who are active with us, but ultimately who have not made an order within the last 2 weeks, however, have showed intent of making an order within the next 2 weeks. So we've got some activity history here as the second selection criteria, and we've got web and app activity where we've had product view events being sent over to Optimove, however, no product purchased events also being made there. So this is the first area. Who we're going to include in this campaign. And this is obviously a classic e-commerce use case around how do we actually communicate with these customers that have showed intent. Blanket discounts are ultimately quite easy to offer, but in the grand scheme of things, they could also get quite expensive. What I'm going to do now is have a look at our predictive models. So obviously all of these different selection criteria, things that you can add in here. Within the predictive models themselves, we have risk of churn, so customers that are showing behaviors that makes them likely of churning. Reactivation rate, not necessarily relevant for this segment, but who are customers that are most likely to reactivate. Future value prediction, what customers have the highest future value to your business in the next 12 months. And the one that's probably most of interest for me to add here is who are my customers that are most likely to convert. So I can add that straight into the segment. And already we've got AI that's helping you make these decisions around who should get what campaign. Now, I mentioned a moment ago that we also have AI that's scanning all of your campaigns that already exist and telling you what to do when you wake up in the morning. Now, ultimately, this is our AI Insights agent, and this is an example of the kind of work that it's doing for you on your behalf and telling you what you can ultimately do next. We have particularly the bottom one here. It's quite interesting. We have a campaign that is not statistically credible. However, 47% of targeted customers respond to it. Therefore, should we keep 47%? The same can be said up here. It's not statistically credible, but 21% of customers are responding to it. So within one click of a button, you can keep the customers that are responding to this campaign in this campaign. But most importantly, you can free the other 79% of these customers up to receive different campaigns that are more relevant for them. Final thing to note on audience selection is that we also have target group discovery. And that's AI that's telling you with a wealth of different data points that you have within Optimove, sometimes the first question is, well, where should I start? And that's ultimately the purpose that target group discovery serves, is to tell you where you can start to create these segments. So once we know who we're dealing with, the next question is, what should happen to them? How should we start to communicate with them?
Okay. And this is when we get into journey decisioning. So our journey decisioning agent works on the basis of your target groups. Obviously, we understand eligibility, take into account all the rules, all the different factors, all the different selections and predictive models and so on that Jack's just taking you through. Now, each target group is either set with a manual priority, as you can see from this group here, and that might be relevant for things like birthday campaigns, which are very timely, they have to happen on that day, etc. Or, and this is where we really do encourage you to make use of this, auto priority. Auto priority is one of the most powerful things within the system. What it's allowing you to do is to, when you do have collisions, and that's a good thing, right? When you do have conflicts between groups, you have multiple things that people can receive. It's taking into account the main KPI for your Optimove instance and understanding, based on that, which is the best campaign to give to that customer on that day. Now, one of the things we've added to that is essentially we've hydrated it with content. So it used to be, until recently, that those decisions were made very much on a cold start basis. So you have a new campaign, we don't really know what it is, we randomize some of the allocations to it. Well, now we can understand based on the template tagging. It's a type of promotion, it's got certain style. We know whether that resonates with individual customers, and we feed that into the decision from day one. Now, what you can kind of see from this, it's a little bit small, is what that means. That's fine, I think we'll keep it like that.
Keep your glasses on, guys.
What it means for eligibility and exclusion. So this fancy graph here is actually showing me on the left-hand side here all the people that were eligible, okay, who, based on the criteria that we had, could have seen that campaign. But for various reasons, we're making decisions about who should see it. So, for example, on this one at the top, same day higher priority, there was another campaign that had a higher priority, so we've taken them into that. Okay? The one below is duration. So as part of this, this system, basically, for measuring uplift, we allow you to lock people in a campaign for a set number of days to be able to establish credibility in that uplift. So in this case, people are already locked in other campaigns. Similar kind of story for the next one, same campaign duration, so we've got a potential conflict, but we're going to take those people through into the campaign. And then some other minor points and the final targeted list below. So as you can see, you've got some great reporting over what happens. It's not a black box. It's very understandable and explainable what happens, and you can see the outcomes and why that's important for getting the right campaign to the right people. Okay.
Okay, so now we've decided which campaign that the customer should get, or maybe you've let AI decide for you. The next decision that we need to make is the offer decisioning. So this is ultimately made within the campaign setup. So I'm within the campaign builder here. I've got my abandoned browse segment. I've got my scheduling set up and my duration locked in so that we can attribute the uplift to this campaign as Rob was just describing. Now, this is an example of an offer decisioning campaign. So it's something that we would always typically recommend. Because some customers will need an offer, and other customers, because they have free will and just like to do things, they wake up in the morning the same way as you do and make decisions, they might buy anyway. So by having an offer decisioning campaign set up, what we're saying here is that there's a soft, no incentive offer that ultimately customers will receive if they are the kind of customer that don't need an offer itself. Coming down the page, we have a 10% off. So we're starting to offer something to them here. We're starting to give a little bit away. Every customer here that does need this offer will get this offer. And then as we go through, it's the same story. Some customers need a little bit more, some customers need a little bit more. Now, ultimately, what this used to be called, before we started to call it offer decisioning, was a self-optimizing campaign. Traditional A/B testing worked something like this. There would be a test that was sent to a small subsection of a segment. There would be then a winning action and a losing action, and then everyone in the campaign would get that winning action. But what that is neglecting at its heart of hearts is that the action that's winning for Rob is not necessarily the action that's winning for me. And what a self-optimizing campaign does is every time it runs over time, it will automatically adjust the allocation of which customer should receive what action so that everyone gets the actions that is winning for them. And ultimately, as a business, you are leaving nothing on the table. The final thing is send time optimization, because it's all well and good having a great offer that's sent the right campaign, the right offer, but ultimately if we send it at the wrong time, it's kind of like walking into a door sometimes. So what we have with the OptiGenie optimization is the ability to specify a duration of time or a period of time through which you can allow Optimove to start to understand down to each individual customer when is the optimum time to actually send them a communication such that they are most likely to engage with it in real time, and we're using all the engagement data that we feed in from our native channels to kind of drive that decision making. So now that we know what we're sending and when, the final decision that we make is what the customer actually sees.
And the eagle eyes amongst you, if you, sorry, skip back to that last one, sorry, Jack.
That's all right.
Will have seen here, there are actually two factors now. So imagine a world where previously you were saying send it at 12 o'clock, send it at 2 p.m., etc. Well, we've just talked about send time optimization. We want to be able to do real-time content decisioning. Now, in order to do that, you can't just send everyone everything because you can't react to it. So what we're doing is we're allowing you to specify a time window here, start and end. It will work across both send time optimization and content decisioning, but it will break down that send into very small chunks. So every 15 minutes, we'll start sending out messages, and that will allow us to work on the content variations and optimize in real time who should see what in each of those subsequent batches. So now we're going to see one of these templates. So here we're using the power of Liquid to allow you to be able to specify variations across any part of the template, across any channel. And that is completely consistent, whichever channel it is. Some examples here, we've got some subject line variation, we've got some sort of hero message, there's a CTA lower down as well. And what we're doing at the moment is aligning those variations. Okay, so we're working out which are the best sets of things to send. Okay, we're working out those. There's a multi-arm bandit running in the background that's understanding in real time what the best content is. And we're aligning these things. So you can actually have semantic link between the different subject line, the different hero message there, and the CTA off the bottom. So if you want to look at the preview,
also, just to reinforce, us putting Liquid into all of our native channels, these are functions that you can type out on your keyboard and create multiple different content variations yourselves within a few seconds. And this is ultimately what it would look like. Sorry.
Yeah, so for a specific customer, you're seeing that it's ending up with the subject line, with a hero message there, and the CTA, all that are semantically linked according to your requirements. So we've seen the 4 different areas. What we're really excited to show you now is AI Decisioning Studio. There is some more detailed metrics. Shai alluded to it in the presentation yesterday around content decisioning, but we're going to show you that in the context of the AI Decisioning Studio. Okay, so here we've got the 4 different levels that we talked about: journey decisioning, offer decisioning, send time optimization, and content decisioning. So this is like your dashboard, if you like. This is where we're encouraging you to take advantage of all these different levels. You can see in one place how many campaigns are optimized for each bit. High-level KPIs, what are your actual uplift, what's your actual optimization benefit for each of these areas. Now, really important to that and how we make use of it is this section at the bottom. So strategies are where you tell us, you enter into the system your goals. It's a way of grouping campaigns. We have some of those already with tags and stuff like that, but this is more explicit. And this really builds into an agentic world where you're saying, here is my target for churn reactivation. This is the KPI that I'm looking to do. At the top, I can see some summaries of what the actual uplift is for those things, what the increase is per customer, and this optimization score, which is effectively how much advantage are we taking of the different optimization strategies that we have available to us. Again, some summary stats there. If you scroll down, you'll be able to list, it's a kind of targeted view of all the campaigns that contribute to these KPIs.
And importantly, which campaigns are utilizing which of our agents so that you can see it straight away.
Indeed, and that means with 1 or 2 clicks, as Jack's about to show, that I can see within this one, for example, I've got journey decisioning is active, I've got content decisioning is active, but if I wanted to activate send time optimization, I can do it from here, got a nice conversational interface, be able to select the time and then apply it to the campaign. Okay, so back to the slides, please.
So, if there's one thing to take away from this session, it is this. It's that customer impact does not come from one smart decision. It comes from many decisions working together. Who we target, what journey they enter, which offer they receive, when we reach them, and then ultimately what they actually see. AI and Optimove supports every one of those decisions, not by replacing strategy, but by executing it better at scale, with control, with constraints, and with visibility into what is actually working.
Okay, and so the goal isn't to send more messages per se, it's to send the right experience to each customer at the right time. And with that,
that's a wrap. If that session was enjoyable for you, we have a few more that are running today.
Even if it wasn't, to be honest, we also have a few more.
A valid point. Please make sure that you go to these, even if you hated every second of this one. And then I think there's one more slide, Rob, as well. If you like this as well, please rate it on the app. Thank you very much indeed.
Thanks for your time.